There's a reason why I call this the best card forcing technique. You know what? In this technique there is zero sleight of hand, zero misdirection, zero anything. You don't even have to touch the deck of cards if you don't want to. The spectator does every single thing and they select the card while the cards are faced up, and yet they select the card that you want them to select. That's the best part of this force. So hey everybody, I am Sholazari. Welcome back to Making Impossible. Let's start our today's video.
This week's Instagram feature goes to Shaurya. Follow him on Instagram, link will be given in the video description.
I'll feature one lucky Instagram user every Monday in my Smack That Monday episodes. If you want your Instagram profile or page to be featured in my next Smack That Monday episode, follow the simple steps that are given in the video description. So now, let's continue.
Here is a little bit of demonstration of the card forcing technique. Now, as you can see over here, I have this deck of cards completely mixed up, right? Now what I'm going to do is, I want you to cut these cards from any point you want, but before that I'm going to give these cards a shuffle just like that. Now at this point, after shuffling the cards, I want you to cut the cards from any point you want, but since these cards are face down, you won't be able to see from which point you're cutting the cards. So I'm going to make it fair and square, and I'm going to turn all the cards face up, and I want you to cut the cards after they have been turned face up. So at this point, let's say the spectator cuts the card from any point they want, and if they're not satisfied with the cut, they can take few more cards from this point, or maybe drop few more cards on that point and make a selection whenever they feel that their cut is perfect. And let's say after making this amount of decisions, the cards they have cut to are these two, the King of Clubs and the Nine of Hearts, right? Now since I have seen both of these cards, you cannot select any of these cards because I have already seen them and there is nothing to find out. So I'm going to just select the card from where you have cut the deck of cards. So this is the point where you have cut the deck of cards, and that card will be none other than the Ace of Spades. And that's the card forcing technique. Let's see how you can do it. Okay guys, this is how this card forcing technique works. Now this is actually a variation, modified variation of the crisscross force, and I learned this from one of my fellow magicians at a magic fair which I visited about a year and a half ago. And the worst part is I don't really remember his name. That's because I just met him only once, and I'm very sorry for that, but I'll try to get his contact and I'll put his name in the description box as soon as I get him. So what is going to happen in this force is, you're going to do the exact same crisscross force, exactly the same crisscross force. Instead of doing the same techniques that you are doing it in a crisscross force, you're doing it in a reversed way. That is, you're having the card that you have to force on the top, then you do some false shuffles to keep the card on the top, and then what you do is you turn these cards over and say to your spectator that since while every magician they ask you to cut the cards while they're face down, you are unable to see which card you're cutting from. I'm going to give you the freedom of cutting the deck of cards face up so that you can see from which card you're cutting from. And it doesn't really matter from which cards they cut from, they can also just readjust their card if they want. And then after they have cut the cards, you're just going to take these cards and keep it on top of this rest of the pack. You are going to take the rest of the cards and put it just like that, just like a crisscross on the top of the cut that they have made. And at this point you're going to say that these are the two cards that we have seen, so both of these cards could not be your selection, cannot be your selection. That's because I'm a magician and I have to find out your card, and that is my job. But if I have seen your card from beforehand, there's nothing to find out. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to just select the card from where you have actually cut the cards, which is this point, and as you give this cards, as you move these cards away and give this card to that spectator, you're giving him the top card. So that will be the Ace of Hearts, which I kept on the top. So that's how this card force is done. Now I'm going to just show this to you once again with a different card so that you can follow everything. So as you can see over here, you have this card that you have to force on the top. You shuffle the cards as much as you want. You do a retention shuffle and then you keep the card on the top. Then what you do is you turn these cards face up and then ask your spectator to cut these cards from any point they want, and then you keep the rest of the pack on top of it. And as that happens, all you're doing is you're going to say that you have seen both of these cards, so none of this can be your selection. So you're going to turn this over just like that, and then you're going to casually take off the top pack and then take the top card from the second pack and give it to him. So that's how you force the top card to your spectator. Now you might think that this might not work, but it works because of an optical illusion that you are actually taking the top card from the bottom pack. So what happens is, since this is, let's say this is the card that you want to force, since you cut the cards from here, the spectator will know that this is the point where they have cut the cards, and then you keep the cards right like that. Then as you turn this entire thing, they'll think that this is the bottom pack from where they have cut the cards. So if you casually take off the top pack, then they are still going to think that this is the bottom pack from where they have cut the cards, and you're just going to turn this over and you force the king of hearts, and that's how you actually force this playing card to your spectator. Now as you know, as you can see, this is a small tutorial, but yeah, the explanation took a little bit of time. That's because I went in depth, and that's it for the tutorial. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you did so, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram at @shoelazari. Also, if you have any questions, you can use the comment section for that. And don't forget to subscribe to my other channel, which is the Pretty Savage channel. I post entertaining videos and gameplays over there, and the link to the channel will be given right in the description box as well as in the cards. And don't forget to smash the subscribe button of this channel if you're not a subscriber yet, and turn on the post notifications so that you don't miss my upcoming videos and my future Smack That Monday episodes. Peace!